Welcome to Adventures with Captain Ray Kelly. This is primarily a drone. Welcome to Adventures with Captain Ray Kelly. This is primarily a drone show. We'll be sharing adventures from all over the world. We hope to have interesting guests every week, and we're glad that you tuned in tonight. We'll be flying different drones in different locations. We encourage viewer participation in the chat. If you have a question, don't be afraid to ask. Every week, we'll have another interesting guest. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. We'll be sharing various adventures by our guests as well as myself. And thank you for joining us tonight. Hi, everybody. Welcome to Adventures with Captain Ray Kelly Live. It's Wednesday night, 7 p.m., and I have another great show scheduled with two awesome guests. And I tell you, I am so excited to have Billy Kyle on. You know, most everybody in the chat knows who Billy is. He's an experienced drone pilot, Part 107 drone pilot from Pennsylvania, but he travels all around doing his commercial shoots. And you know, I look forward to it. I learned so much from him when I first started getting involved with drones. I watched a lot of his videos along with a lot of other people, and he's going to be a great guest. And then we also have John Flynn. He's going to be joining us too from Michigan. He's an experienced Part 107 drone pilot also, and I love John. And you know that, by the way, they're both coming to the South Florida drone meetup. So who's ever coming, you're going to get to meet them. And John's bringing his wife, Colleen, and we're going to have a good time down there. We have 135 people on the list right now with a couple of cancellations, you know, but that's what we're up to. And, you know, I got to say thank you to everybody who has agreed to come, you know. And even if you're not on the list, just come and join us because you're going to be amazed at meeting all these great guys and gals. And I bet you'll learn something too. But anyway, I just want to acknowledge the people. I do that every live stream. A lot of people think it's boring, but got to say hello to Paul Brown, and he was number one, you know. And Paul just passed his Part 107 test today. So I got to say congratulations to Paul. Really, that is a big accomplishment. And for those who have taken the test, you know how difficult it is. And I know Paul's going to do great things with his Part 107. You know, he's got that partnership right now with Plymouth Rock TV up there in New England. So he's got exciting things coming. But anyway, I got to go on and say hello to Bill Wharton. And Bill, thank you for joining tonight. Then we got Angel, drone guy at 42 Adventures. Always good to see Angel and Warren. Aki Rasho's in the house. He's watching from Michigan too, if I remember right. But he's coming to the South Florida drone meetup. And we got Jay Bird watching. Joe, how you doing? Good to see you, Joe. Joe is coming. At least he hasn't canceled yet. Him and his wife and his daughter, and his daughter even flies drones. So that's going to be fun. I tell you, really, I'm looking forward to meeting him and his family. But anyway, I don't want to miss anybody. John Olson's in the house. How you doing, John? Good to see you. And Dusty, East Coast Thrills. He's coming back with his son, Cameron, to the South Florida drone meetup. And I love it when fathers come with their sons or daughters, you know. And we try to promote that, you know, getting kids involved with drones. And everybody I talk to, I say, if you got kids, bring them to the South Florida Drone Meetup. But anyway, we got Joe Fodolito watching. He's watching down in Texas. Good to see you, Joe. And I know uh, Bill. Did I see Bill? Coast to Coast Drones, was he in? No, no, maybe not. East. Oh, okay, East Coast Thrills is Dusty. How you doing, Dusty? Good to see you. And Bob Casey's watching. He's one of the sponsors of the meetup. He can't make it. He has a family commitment, but it's good to see Bob. And somebody's going to win his beautiful custom made wooden American flag. So thank you, Bob. And then we got who else is in here? Brant Ariels, Gary. He's number 6 on the South Florida Drone Meetup list. And Jody's watching. Drone shots. How you doing, Jody? And then we got Mike, Texas Arch Drone guy, and he has sent me a video because he is now a sponsor. He just notified me he's sending us a box with some goodies in it, and if we get the video to play, I'll be showing it sometime tonight during the broadcast. But thank you to Mike. And I know there was a little drone in there, and a lot of other good little goodies. But anyway, who else? I see Ron Brown. We got a drone celebrity watching. Ron Brown is watching tonight. But it's not funny, but it's coincidental that I just have to have a box right here. There's a big box right here. And this box came from Ron Brown. And I was going to do the unboxing. And maybe I'll wait a few minutes. Nah, let's get it over. But look at this, the Mavic 3 carrying case bag. And we got a Stored RC t-shirt. And then we got propeller guards for a Mini 3 Pro. And then we got more propeller guards. And then we got even a Cinewhoop drone, an FPV drone. Look at this. Then we got a lavalier mic. Oh my God, there's so much stuff in this box. And we got the gimbal camera protection cover for a Mini 3 Pro. Wow. And I know some of you guys might not have some of these drones, but if you win them at the South Florida Drone Meetup, you can either give them to somebody who has it, share it, or do whatever you want with it. But this is propeller holders for the Air 3. Johnny, I bet you Johnny wins this. But anyway, then we got an dropping system for the Mini 3 or Mini 3 Pro. Oh man, there's so much stuff in this box, really. Ron, thank you so much. Foldable extended heightening landing gear for the Mini 3. What else? LED extended landing gear for the Mini 3 Pro. And then we got some Hubsan Bugs 3. It looks like propellers, maybe. And then we got some more Hubsan propellers. Oh man. Thank you so much. And then we got the protection cover for the Mini 3 Pro remote controller. So thank you so much, Ron. Really. And I tell you, everybody knows about the raffle at the South Florida Drone Meetup. We scheduled an hour for it at the first one, and we went over an hour. And now we scheduled 2 hours for the raffle. So, but anyway, I got some other great news. Maybe I'll bring John in, and then we'll continue talking about it. So, and I'll get back to the names. I know I saw Phantom Flight 101, Herman, those guys, him and Lawrence, they're coming to the South Florida Drone Meetup. And Lance is watching out in Washington. Sergeant Rock is watching. Good to see you. But anyway, I'll get back to the name shortly. I think John ran out of the shrimp and lobster back there, so I'm going to bring him in. I want you to give him a warm welcome. He's coming to us all the way from Michigan. Hey, John.
Hey. Hello, Captain. Hi, everybody.
How you doing?
Doing good. Doing
how
great.
was the shrimp and lobster?
It was very good. I didn't leave any for Billy, so you snooze, you lose.
Well, anyway, I tell you, thank you so much for being on.
Of course. Thanks for having me.
Um, you are a big supporter of most of the channels of our little group of drone pilots and live streamers, and we appreciate it, John. We
Uh,
really
it's
do.
it's my pleasure. I'd like to watch more than I do. It's just it's a time constraint, but I try and support whenever I can. So
And John, just to let everybody in the chat know, John is a sponsor of the South Florida Drone Meetup. He had his T-shirt company make up some T-shirts,
my sweatshop.
and he's donated, I think, 6 of them, John.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Correct.
So I got to say thank you so much for that. Really,
It's my pleasure.
I
My
was
pleasure.
down in the Florida Keys, the past couple of days, and Steve Barnett won your shirt at the
Yeah, you
meetup
sent me that
last year,
picture.
and he was
That's awesome.
proudly wearing it. So,
I'm glad he enjoys it.
and
It
I
looks
wear
like he was
mine.
keeping it clean too, so
I
that's
wear
good.
mine too all the
Yeah.
time. But I was hoping Stevie Bronx would be in the chat tonight because this is his shirt. Excuse me. But anyway, I'm trying to keep an eye on the chat. If anybody has any questions for John, put them in the chat. We'll try to keep an eye out for them. And if I want to say hello to Ashley Brown, if I hadn't said hello to her already. How you doing, Ashley? And Brian, Waypoint, New England. Jeff, Four States
Brian.
Aerial. I tell you, John, they must have known you and Billy were going to be on. Look at this nice
Well,
crowd that we have.
probably Billy more than me.
No. But we do have a question already for you. So let's see what
Okay.
it is. So, question for John. When you're out flying your drone, how do you fight on the female plants
I
attracted to the great beard? Do they get in
bring
the
my
way?
wife. I bring my wife along.
Oh, that's a good
she
one.
she my wife keeps the female admirers at bay, so it's a good
That's a
thing
good
that
one.
she's in charge of security. So I still get a few Karens, but she's doing a good job. So
It's funny because I try to get my wife to come, and she'd rather not come. But
oh, is that right? Yeah.
a couple of times she has, but she usually gets on the phone, starts talking to her girlfriend.
Yeah. I bring her along, but I can't get her to actually take take the sticks and fly. But
No,
I'm still working on it. I'm not giving up
okay,
yet.
because we
So
want to see Colleen fly at the
I
South Florida Drone Meetup.
I mentioned that to her, and she's like, I don't know. We'll have to do
Oh,
some
really?
arm twisting there for
Getting
sure.
nervous?
But yeah. She said, especially, what if I crash with all those people watching me? It's like, wouldn't be the first crash at the meetup.
No, she's
So
not going to crash. You'll coach her, and I'll be there filming and make a
yeah,
little video out of it, and we'll have a good time. Tell her.
yeah,
But anyway,
yeah.
we got RJ Aerials and RJ Ron Johnson. He's coming to the South Florida Drone Meetup, but he was on Old Farts with Drones today. I'm gonna have to watch that replay because I was at a Mets game, so spring training game. Do you follow baseball at all, John?
I do. I'm a big Tigers fan,
Are you?
and
Mm-hmm.
and Cubs. More Tigers, but I always root for the Cubs too. So have both the National and American League covered that way. So
Yeah.
it'll be
All
nice
right.
to see them playing ball up here in the North Country. Hopefully the weather will warm up and they'll be able to play. So
Well, I tell you, I know you're a Part 107 drone pilot, but do you do a lot of work as a Part 107
not
drone
really. I don't really pursue it too much. I think probably the driving force at the time of me getting the 107 captain was being able to fly at night. Prior to me getting my 107, you had to have the 107 to fly at night, and then they've changed that now so that recreational flyers can too. But
Right.
I've done a couple of like roof inspections, but nothing major. I tried to get into the real estate, but there's a few real estate people around here that don't believe in Part 107s or don't even know what Part 107 is or or remote ID or anything like that. So, but anyhow, so
Okay.
but
Well,
it,
I tell you, I hope you left some shrimp and lobster for Billy because he's in the back room now and he doesn't look
uh-oh,
too happy.
uh-oh. Sorry, Billy. I was extra hungry.
But anyway, we'll be bringing Billy in very shortly. Um, but tell us, John, tell us, you just got involved along with me and I think 38 other people ordering the Mavic 3 Pro. So
Right.
tell us your experience, if
Well,
you can,
basically,
briefly.
yeah, briefly. I mean, spent more time than I should have speaking with Amazon customer service, both in chat and on the phone, and thought I had something in writing where I wasn't going to purchase the drone and then have them reimburse me the difference, because I talked to a leadership Amazon person and they said, no, you don't need to do that. We had it worked out where they would just give me a credit, and this person was only authorized to do $100 a day, and she would
Right.
do it for, I think, 14 days or whatever the difference was. I had her put that in writing. I had her repeat it so that it was captured on the phone recording. And basically, the first day went by fine. I got the credit in my account, and she was supposed to either email or call me and let me know when, every day, make sure I got it. Well, the next day came, nothing happened. Day after that, nothing happened. So I got on the phone again and spent a little bit of time on hold and getting transferred, and finally got to supposedly the head honcho of the leadership team. And unfortunately, basically what he said is she had no authority to offer that to me, and there was nothing more they could do. And basically, when I told him that I had the letter, and he said, well, yeah, I see the letter here, but there's nothing we can do. He subsequently then either hung up on me or the
Yep.
connection was lost. So
How convenient.
um,
Yeah.
yeah,
But
yeah. So
that's
it
some
was
story,
unfortunate.
really.
It
Yeah.
really is.
Well,
I guess.
Bill, the drone reviewer, he ended up buying one and receiving it,
Hmm.
and he's getting to run around also
Yeah,
on the
yeah.
refund,
Right,
you
right.
know,
It's
and he may
unfortunate.
end up having to return his.
Right.
But
I just
anyway,
didn't want to mess
I
around with that.
really thought the world. I really thought the world of Amazon, but this really put a bad taste in my mouth.
Yeah, it's
And
unfortunate. I think it's too bad that they aren't. And that's the thing. I mean, I was able to order it. It said they had them in stock. I've got it. In fact, my order has not been canceled. It's still there, showing
that's
his
amazing.
order has been received. So,
You should
I
have,
guess
not to tell you what to do, but when I get back to my phone calls with him, I'm not giving
yeah,
up just yet. I'm going to start
yeah,
calling him again.
yeah.
I'll get the runaround again. I know I will, but I
Uh,
may end up having an attorney write him a letter, really, because
yeah,
sometimes that's all you need. Have an attorney write a letter on their letterhead, and it
yeah,
it, it gets action sometimes.
yeah.
But
Well,
anyway,
just put in a good
listen.
word for me on that letter too.
But I know Billy, we all look forward to getting the inside scoop from Billy. And I won't put him on
Absolutely,
the spot tonight, but Billy, I said
I
it in
won't.
the intro. I learned so much watching his videos in the beginning when I first started flying. I give him so much credit. He knows it. I've mentioned it many times already. I got my drone set on his settings, and
Yeah, yeah.
I want everybody in the chat to please give a warm welcome to Billy Kyle. He was on the road doing a job, so I don't know if he's in Pennsylvania.
He's in his
Yeah,
car.
I'm in New Jersey right now. Just got out of doing a photo shoot. So
Oh, how you doing, Billy?
Hey,
Good.
Billy,
Good.
good. How you guys doing?
All
doing
right,
good,
good.
doing good.
Thank you for taking the time out. I know you're busy. You really
Of
are.
course. Oh, look,
So
it's great to talk to you guys. We're gonna be talking soon in person at the South Florida Drone Meetup, but it's good to talk to you beforehand.
Yeah,
exactly,
it'll be
exactly.
fun.
And I'm so glad that you're coming. Really, it means a lot that you're coming. And then I got a surprise phone call from Lon, and I know
Mhm.
he was coming, you know.
Yeah.
And he said you were coming, but he said, guess what, Ray? Billy and I are going to sponsor the South Florida Drone Meetup. And Billy, you want to tell everybody what you're donating?
Yeah, so I'll be donating a power station, likely one from EcoFlow. So, there's a lot of really great power stations out there. It's kind of something a couple years ago that was like one company was doing it here, one company was doing it there, but there's a lot of companies jumping into the game now. And I know for me, like the power station has saved me so many times. You think about like the price to charge ratio, and if you look at buying a bunch of Mavic 3 batteries,
Right.
if you tried to buy as many Mavic 3 batteries as that battery would charge, it would be way more expensive. And the power station is great for charging up remotes and stuff like that. So it's something that lives in the back of my car. And it's just something that always comes around with me because, quite frankly, I fly a lot. So,
Right, right.
I use a ton of power.
Yeah, for
Well,
sure.
I tell you, it's a great donation. I got to say thank you for, for, e- for doing that.
Of
But
course.
again, more importantly, that you come. It means
Yeah,
so
Right.
much. We got 135 people signed up, Billy.
I know. You know what? It keeps growing every single year. You're
Yeah.
gonna have to start putting it at a bigger location, at
Well, we'll
a bigger
see.
park.
Because Johnny and I and the rest of the drone committee always say we're going to start losing people. And we have. We've lost some people, but we've gained a lot more, to be
Yeah.
honest with you.
Yep.
But anyway, we got Steve Barnett watching tonight. He's watching down in the Florida Keys because I just spent 2 days with him down there. So how you doing, Steve? Good to see you. But we have a question for you, Billy, from Paul Brown.
Yeah. So I mean
And
that is a huge impact, right? And it's kind of like what does this ban entail? Is it going to be the ban of future sales of drones? Is it going to be the ban of drones that I even own right now? You know what I mean? It's something that would really hurt my business. I mean, and even just what I love to do, because I go out and fly all the time for fun. Like there's actually a really great sunset here that I unfortunately missed, but it's not like I'd be getting paid to shoot that sunset. My initial instinct was like, oh, let me just put the drone up for photos that I can share on Instagram or something like that. So, it's not only my business, but it's my hobby. It's something that I love to do. And, if they take away the best tool for the job, the
right,
market and the industry is just going to take a nosedive. People love to say, oh, there's other alternatives, there's other great options out there, but it's like, really, like what? Like right now on the consumer side, anything that you can buy that is not DJI is years old at this point. The Autel Evo 2 is 3-4 years old at this point. So, and even Skydio isn't making drones anymore. So if you have the Skydio 2,
right,
you're not going to expect any new updates from that. Like they're
yeah,
they're done they're done supporting that drone. So for
yeah,
me, I mean, I look at what I do every day. I'll be flying around a busy interchange with, cars whizzing by, and whatnot. And the reason I do something like that with my DJI drone is because I trust it. Like I trust myself using it. I trust the technology, but I don't know if I could say the same for doing, the same project, say an Autel, because will it disconnect? Will the obstacle avoidance fail on
right.
me? It's something that I just haven't tested enough.
Yeah, I know. Good question, Paul. Really good question. But I tell you, I have it here on most live streams. This is my favorite. The
Yep.
good old Mavic 3 that I want at spin up.
Yes, the Mavic 3 is just I mean, I don't I often and people will say this like about smartphones and stuff. It's like I don't know what I could ask for from a future generation drone, and I really don't. I mean, I fly the Mavic 3 every day, and I'm never like, ooh, I wish it can do this. It is so good through and through.
Right, right. I know. I remember when you did your maiden flight with it. And
Yeah,
I tell you, Bill, I really love waiting for your new releases,
thank
your
you.
Right.
videos. Really, I tell you, I just learn so much every time about the different drones, and I know you get them firsthand, and I know you can't talk about that kind of stuff. But how do you like being involved with that program?
I mean, it's nice, right? Like being able to kind of get a jump start is great with YouTube, and
Right.
it kind of being something that I do full time. It's like sometimes speed is king, like trying to be the first person to drop a video, make a video, come up with an idea. So being able to have that edge is pretty nice. But I also just love new technology. Like I love being able to test out anything that's brand new, whether it's drones or whether it's a virtual reality headset or whether it's a car or anything like that. So being able to just like experience something is really the biggest thing, because it helps give you a perspective of like what technology is out there.
Right. I know. I know. Now, are you a bit? I know you have the Avada, and you've done quite a few videos with that. But do you consider yourself a big Avada FPV pilot?
Nah, not really. I mean, my main thing is the reason I got into drones is from a photography and videography aspect. So for me, it's like, what drone can I use to take the best photos and the best videos? And so really that's what it comes down to for me. A lot of my work is the same way, like, photography and videography clients and whatnot. But when it comes down to having fun, there's just nothing better than the Avada. I mean, even people will like beat their chest and they'll say, the motion controller sucks. I hate the motion controller. I wish it came with a regular controller. But think about people outside of the drone community that are just looking for something fun to fly. That motion controller is a load of fun.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. I've tried it, the motion controller, and I need a lot of practice with it. Michael Wright let me use it last year.
It's definitely a different experience.
Yeah.
Billy, do you fly in manual mode with the Avata?
Yeah, so I fly
Yes.
manual. There's been times where I feel like it's just better to fly in sport mode. Like it just gives me
Mhm.
more control
Mhm.
for the ability to stop and whatnot. I'm actually kind of working on a video right now. I mean, it's more of just so like the beginning stages, but from a tactical perspective, like for law enforcement, the Avata has become one of the best drones that they can buy without any shred of a doubt. It's such a good little
Right.
reconnaissance tool. It's so
Mhm.
durable. I mean, you think about little ways that they can use it. I mean, I'm sitting outside an office building right now, and with the connection strength and just with the actual drone itself, you could fly through a door, you could fly through an opening, you can maneuver throughout the inside of a building while being outside of it because of the connection, because of the way that it's built. So yeah, I mean, the Avata, like it's so funny because they built this drone for fun and to be like a consumer item, and it's kind of evident through the motion controller because it's a ton of fun to use, but when you bring it into a tactical situation, it's pretty good.
Mm. Mhm.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
true.
Yeah. Well, I tell you, it, I received a box yesterday when I got back from the Keys. It was at my door. And look at this little FPV drone that
Look at
somebody
that.
said. Al Diaz, above it
That's
all,
cool.
out in California, sent us this drone. And it's a heavy drone, believe it or not. But
Yeah, that's awesome.
it's got to fly with acro. I'm not an FPV guy, but you got to um, what's the word? He put a little note in here. Fly it only in acro. Ask Maddie about it. But
So
it works with the DJI Integra and goggles too. So
I
Oh,
so
I
somebody's gonna win this.
nice.
I I love the ability to just like throw it into sport mode and hover the Avata. Like that's another huge aspect for me. Not always having to be on the sticks and just kind of hang out, and you can hover in the air, or take the goggles off, bring it back, and land right in front of you. I mean, it's just such a nice convenience feature. I know that true FPV pilots will be like pulling their hair out, but it's what I like.
Well, I know you went down and did a pre-flight at like an abandoned building one time, and I thought that was so cool that you took the time to do a pre-flight and inspect it before you actually flew it.
Yeah,
You
so you know
think
what?
that's important, right?
Yeah, so that specific building, I knew that I had no entry to. So if I lost the drone or did anything like that, it's something I knew where the drone would lose. I would lose it. So for me, like just getting an a bird's eye view, just to kind of see some different spots that I could fly and get familiar with the building was nice, because it's one of those buildings that's like not in a good area. It's in Camden, New Jersey, which is just no good.
Right,
So,
right.
it's something that I've seen from afar, but I've never like actually gone up to it. So I was still probably a pretty good distance away, a block or two away. So being able to just do that quick little run around the outside, just like you said, was really helpful.
Yes, I thought it was so cool. I really, and I'm not an FPV guy, but I found it
Not yet.
interesting.
Not yet.
Yeah, not yet.
Never say
Not-
never.
So I'm not. I know I'm going to put you on the spot a little bit, but believe me, if you can't talk about it, you can't talk about it. But do you have any idea if that new supposedly DJI Avata 2 might be out before the South Florida drone meetup?
I mean, there's just been like a ton of leaks out about the drone,
Right.
and it might be. I mean, I feel like once you start hearing the leaks, it's like about a month out. So, you're starting to see it like hit the FCC database. You're starting to see it hit that. So, I feel like that's like the perfect drone to release for the spring. But I feel like the South Florida drone meetup will probably be Avata 2-less. Like I feel like it'll just be a lot of regular Avatas. But
Right.
I think when you look at DJI's entire lineup, I think that the FPV space is kind of where they have the most headroom to kind of keep innovating because it's just such a new class and category. So it's going to be really interesting to see like what they do to improve the Avata series, maybe even their FPV series. Maybe they have something that's even brand new, So it would be really interesting to see that.
I know. Well, you remember you were at the first South Florida drone meetup when Stevie Bronx showed up with his new DJI FPV, and that was like, I think it only was released a week or two before that.
Yeah,
You
well, hey,
remember that?
Yeah, I do remember that. And I remember somebody else maybe
Yeah,
yeah,
somebody else, Maverick put it in the water.
some guy was flying it and he almost hit a tree and he was like, "Oh man, that was so crazy." And then like 2 seconds later puts it right in the water. And then
Right.
Mark Fisher
Yep,
swam out to go get it.
I know. That was the highlight, no doubt about it. Mark going in the water, and he found that drone.
So good.
I know.
Aquaman. So Billy, what do
but
you think switching to camera drones, because I'm more of a camera drone guy, what do you think is coming down the pipe innovation wise? What do you think is going to be the next big thing?
Unfortunately, I think that the Mavic 4 is just going to be like a catching up update because the Mini 4 has kind of pushed the boundary. Air 3 has kind of pushed the boundary in terms of, kind of working their way up the ladder. And so now you have like the Mini 4 and Air 3 that can do things that the Mavic 3 can't do, right?
Right.
So with their naming scheme, it's kind of tough because like Air 3 and Mini 4 are like on the same, level. I would say like they're kind of like even in terms of what they can do. It's a good jump in terms of upgrade, but the Mavic 3 is the one that's just kind of long in the tooth at this point. So I think that Air 3 will, or if we see like a Mavic 4, I think that like some of the things that'll definitely be in there is like OcuSync 4, right? I think that'll be a no-brainer to add. I think that they'll probably add vertical shooting, I hope, or at least some sort of gimbal design that gives you a little bit more flexibility. But I think the main thing that I'd like to see is for them to kind of ditch the 3 camera design, like with the 3 different sensors, and give us one sensor, like that Micro Four Thirds, but a 3 times optical zoom. So like anywhere between 1 to 3, which would be like 24 to 70 millimeters, is just like straight, lossless zoom. I think that would be awesome.
That would be great.
Like I don't use the 166 millimeter camera, the 7X. It's just too tight for a lot of what I do. So having optical zoom to go from 24 to 35 millimeters or 50 millimeters or 70 millimeters in a drone is all that I could ask for. And having the same colors all the way through and the same image quality all the way through would be awesome.
Right. Yeah. Why do you think that is that they have that on the Air 3, but they haven't made that available, the colors?
I think it's just because it's a difference in camera. Like the Air 3 has 2 very similar sensors, very similar cameras, but just different focal lengths.
Mm-hmm.
Once you start getting into different sensors, it then changes the color science. And really, no matter what you do, it's always going to be a little bit different.
Makes sense.
But yeah, so I mean, Mavic 4, I think they need to release that within the next year, I would say,
I hope so.
I would hope.
I hope so too. Yeah. Now that we're not getting the Mavic 3 Pro, right, John?
Yeah. Well, apparently not.
Well, yeah, so that situation is interesting. I mean, I was kind of following him from afar, but I know that Ken sent me a screenshot. It was like, I just picked up an $800 Mavic 3 Pro on Amazon, and I was like,
Oh, he ordered it too? He did?
Ken ordered it. Yeah, I don't
Okay.
know. I don't know if he ended up pursuing it. I don't know what ended up happening with his, but
Right.
yeah, he ordered one.
Yeah. I mean, I couldn't believe it. And to be honest with you, I was very hesitant in the beginning. But when I saw it published in Drone XL, I said, there's some credibility here.
Yeah,
And that's what swayed me to order it.
he was
Yeah.
covering it pretty well. And you know, I have to think, like, how do you mess that up? How does somebody at Amazon mess that up so bad?
I mean, that's the whole thing. I mean, I don't understand it either.
It's like a Best Buy employee putting out a drone that's not out yet onto the shelf. It's like that's like the same level of like,
Yeah.
it's stupidity. You call it
Right.
stupidity.
Right.
But you know, I tell you, I was so excited, but I really am very, very happy with my Mavic 3. I
Yeah,
am. And I have a Mini 3 Pro 2 that I hardly ever fly, and I still got my Air 2S.
it's
You
just,
know,
it's so funny because like people like talk about how easy it is to travel with the mini drones, but I would rather take a larger drone like the Mavic 3, and
right?
that's still so easy to travel with, and you get such
It is. I mean, look at this.
a
Really. I mean, there's nothing to flaunting it up and putting it in your backpack. And you know, I learned my backpack trick from you too, because I
yeah,
remember you doing that in the beginning. I
yep.
keep it in my backpack.
Yeah, and you know what?
So,
It's like, remember the Phantom days where you had to lug around a special backpack just for your drone?
right. Yeah.
Things have
I
changed
tell
for the
you.
better there.
Oh, they sure have.
Yeah. No
Yeah, I'm
doubt
trying to
about it.
look at the comments, make sure I don't miss any. I do miss a lot of questions sometimes. But if anybody has questions for Billy or John, please put them in the chat.
So, Billy, do you think we'll see a new DJI FPV coming out eventually too?
God,
I mean, what?
I sure hope, because that camera's horrible. Like, there's no way to put it. The camera's horrible. I mean, at least it's heavy enough, or it's powerful enough to carry a GoPro or like a DJI action camera if you really wanted. But yeah, no, the camera's horrible, and it's pretty old now, to the point where I'm pretty sure it's still on OcuSync 2. Like, that's how old it is. 2020 is around when that drone came out.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. It's always exciting, when new drones come out, though. Not that I need them, I want them. I just get excited for the people that end up buying them, really.
hmm Here's the thing too, and I had that interview with Adam Welsh from DJI,
Yep.
and it was great to talk to him because he it was good to talk to him because one of the questions I asked is, and this was kind of like right around when the news of Skydio dropping out of the consumer market was making waves, and he said that we're always going to continue to innovate. We're always going to continue to compete with ourselves. And it's good that we have a company like that is, going to continue to kind of help push the consumer drone market forward. Because, if you had a company that was just sitting on their drone because it was best and they just sat on it for years, it'd be no fun. So it is nice to see, DJI do that. And I see them kind of morphing into being like a whole general electronics company,
Right.
Right.
with
No, that was a great interview. I watched that video and I found it very
Thank
interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, we got a question from Scott, Jackrabbit FPV. What does Billy think of the clone?
What's the
Okay.
clone?
What do you mean, Scott? Well, do you understand that?
I think he means the Air 3 clone that is out there. Have you seen that, Billy?
Okay.
No, I haven't.
It's the Specta.
Who's it made by?
I'm trying to think. Cotigo.
Oh, here it is. Marcus knows a little bit about it
Yeah.
too, apparently.
I mean,
Okay. I'm not familiar with this at all.
Whoa, that thing looks so freaking similar.
The only
Really?
thing that's different is it doesn't have the DJI stamp on the back.
Okay. Interesting.
Do you think that it could potentially be a rebranded DJI in the States?
That's what some people are speculating.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is
I mean, it's
very interesting.
I haven't checked, but it was
Okay, here
up
we
on
go.
Amazon too
Hey,
for purchase, and it's got the
Angel has
same.
a question for you.
It's got the same control and same software and everything. It appears.
Yeah, the Air 3 can easily be
Today,
used for commercial work. In fact, I actually will sometimes grab my Air 3 over, like my Mavic 3. So actually on Monday, I have an inspection job, and I do some work with this company that's kind of helping to do some renovations and fix up some of the buildings at like the colleges here in Philadelphia. So you're looking at like Penn, Temple, Drexel. All these buildings are pretty old at this point. So they're replacing windows, they're replacing roofs and stuff like that. So for me, being able to deliver an image that is 48 megapixels just gives these guys so much detail and so much room to analyze the images. So like I had this one building that was about 20 stories and it had about 6 windows per story, and they wanted a photograph of every single window.
Hmm.
So my goal was just to take a photo of every window for them. Basically when I do these like visual inspections, I'm the middleman. So like I have no say in what the images look like, but really
Right.
they're hiring me rather than, sending somebody up on scaffolding to get a first look at these windows. So it's
yep.
just kind of preliminary check for them. So for me to go around and take a photo of every single window, you've got 48 megapixels you're playing with in that photograph. Now, there will be people that say it's not technically as detailed as like, a traditional 20 megapixel photo, but really, I mean, it sounds horrible, but for me to just say to my client that it's a 48 megapixel photo just makes them feel good, and really the image quality is probably on par between both of them, but it is so detailed that like, if you're, let's say 10 feet away from a window and you snap a photograph, you can see if there's like a screw, whether it's like a Phillips or a flathead. So
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. Okay. Ronnie, I remember something about what DJI stands for, but at my age, I forgot it already. Does anybody know what it actually stands for? But drones isn't their big business, if I remember correctly, right? With DJI.
um
It's
it,
Dajang or something like that.
what is
Dajang
it's their
Industries.
car sensors you're talking about?
But anyway, um, we don't get XO. Okay.
I almost just want to buy this Spectre drone.
It's on Amazon.
I know.
Try it.
And,
Try
although
it. Yeah.
I don't
How much? How
recommend
much is it
Amazon.
listed for?
It's $1,200.
Okay. All right. Interesting. DJI is the best, Billy, though.
Well, yeah, but
Spectre's number 2.
let's see. I wonder if they'll have. I wonder if they will have geofences on it.
I mean, everything else
Right.
looks like it's all there. I mean,
Excuse
the
me.
software and everything, but the
Well,
support, that
again,
would be
a lot of
my
people don't
concern.
like. They don't like DJI because of the geofences. I've heard that from a
Yeah.
number of pilots. Yeah.
Yeah, but
Do you think that's
they're really.
it's good to have it, Billy?
I think it's good to have it. Like you look
I
at
do too.
you look at like a no-fly zone from what DJI puts on there, and really it's only like, I would say 500 to maybe 1,000 feet off the runway of an airport. I mean, it's a very tight red red box or red circle or whatever that you're not allowed to fly in. I mean, if there's a TFR, they'll still let you take off. If there's a warning zone, they'll still let you take off. I mean, there is a lot of
Right.
freedom there still to fly with drones. And like
Yep.
usually these airports
Thank
are
you.
in
Thank
places
you, Marcus.
usually these airports are in places that you wouldn't want to fly anyway. Like for me down in South Philly, there's nothing to fly down there. So I literally never bump into the Philadelphia International Airspace. But it's just like, it is definitely, what's the word I'm trying to say? It's definitely a help in my opinion, because I think that there'd be a lot of stupid incidents if there weren't, those geofences.
Oh, no doubt about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that goes along with my little tip of the week. Um, we ended up having a little issue on our flight um, a couple of weeks ago now. So the tip of the week is just make sure you check your local laws and ordinances before you go fly. Did you hear that we got approached by a deputy sheriff, and we were told we were flying illegally, that you needed a permit to fly where we were flying in the city of Lake Worth Beach?
Yeah.
Yeah, so we did not check the local ordinances. We checked before you fly and all of that, and clear airspace. But a new law went into effect in January 2023 that if you want to fly on public property in the city of Lake Worth Beach, you need to have an approved permit.
Mm. Well,
So,
tomorrow is going to be a fun day because here in Philadelphia, we have Battleship New Jersey, which has been docked for 23 years. And they are going to push it with a tugboat down the Delaware River. So
oh, really?
they've got 4 tugboats. It's going to be the first time in 23 years that this thing sails.
Oh,
Um,
wow.
I say sails, but it's not actually going to be sailing.
Oh, it's going to be towed.
They're gonna tow it
Moving.
down to the Navy Yard.
Right.
So I think it's like a 3-mile journey, and it's going to take them like 3 hours to move this thing. It's only going to be moving along at 3 miles an hour. So where Battleship New Jersey currently sits is not in controlled airspace with Philadelphia
Okay.
International Airport, but its route is going to take you down through controlled airspace. And
Okay.
I can just tell you that it is going to be a madhouse with all of the
Oh,
drones.
yeah. I
and
can
everything
imagine.
there. There's going to be a Coast Guard. There's going to be state police. I mean, it is going to be certainly an interesting time. So, I've got my Lank. I've got my 107. Like, I usually don't do it, like for just a regular time. I'm just flying for fun or whatever. But like, I pulled Skywatch insurance. I got insurance, like liability insurance for my flight. So I fully checked out because I know that for this move, there's probably going to be FBI, Secret Service, TSA, and all of them are going to be involved. So I'm just anticipating getting some flack in some way, even though, of course, it's completely legal.
Yeah, that's going to be so cool. Really, it will be.
It'll be really fun to do, yeah.
There'll probably be a lot of other drones too. You'll have to.
You know what? So I've heard that the FAA has over 30 Lank requests for just that area.
I wouldn't doubt it.
And
Yep.
Also, that is just the people that know what Lank is. You can imagine there's going to be dozens of people that have no idea you're supposed to do that are going to be flying too.
Right.
You know?
Right. Exactly.
Exactly.
How you doing, Big Orange Drone Flyer? Zach, good to see you. And did you see the comments that Sam Lepore, is that his name?
My buddy Sam's in here.
Battleship Billy, your new nickname.
There he is. I sent him a link.
Yeah, I'll tell you. It's I would love to be able to film that, really. I know Brian Mackey, he had filmed the Battleship Texas when it was being towed.
That's awesome.
I think that was a year and a half ago.
Yeah.
And that was cool.
very cool.
Yeah, there's some areas around here that definitely get somewhat dicey, just with Philadelphia International Airport. I mean, people usually in their city would love to fly, like the stadiums, like the stadium area. So, whether it be in Philadelphia, like the Lincoln Financial Field or Wells Fargo Center or Citizens Bank Park, but it falls in a zero grid. So in order to fly there, you've got to pull, special paperwork with the FAA to get approvals to fly there. So I know as of this year, the Phillies are going to start almost capturing and broadcasting with a drone. So in order to do that, they need to put in a permit for every single game in order to fly, because it's not only them saying like, hey, we want to fly it for the MLB or whatever, but it's like they need to fly it in zero grid airspace. So it's gonna be tough.
Yeah. There's a rumor going around though, Billy. You bought a Model S Plaid?
What is Sam saying that?
Marcus.
You know what? I love the Model Y. It's just such a great utility car.
Well, we got somebody wondering if you got to bring the Apple goggles to the meetup.
If I can fit it in my bag, I will. They're a lot of fun, but you know what, man?
Okay.
They're so expensive. It's going to be really scary to travel with.
Yeah. Hey, DeMarco, we got a drone celebrity in the chat. How you doing, DeMarco? Yeah. But anyway, let me show one of your videos now, if you don't mind. We'll take a couple minutes. and I'm not good at this sharing stuff, but I'll do the best I can. And I'll just go in order here. Gordie Howe International Bridge.
Yeah,
That's very cool video.
All right.
thank you.
So you want to narrate,
Yeah,
Billy?
so this was
Pull
not
out.
this was not a paid shoot by any means. In fact, I like literally used copyright music, so I'm not making a dime off of it. But it was really fun to just go out and like see a bridge of this caliber still in construction. I actually saw an Instagram video of this right here where you have this gap, and I was like, I gotta fly that. Like I was like immediately looking at flights to get out there. So my buddy has family from Michigan and like the Detroit area. So I convinced him to come out with me, and yeah, that was a lot of fun. I was a little bit worried, like with the guys, like so close to the edge. I didn't want to get my drone all that close. But
Right.
if you look at this clip right here, there's actually another drone right in the middle of the frame. So I was afraid to get too close because I didn't want one of them seeing my drone and getting distracted.
Right.
But when I was shooting with my 7X all the way back, they actually saw me and were waving to me. So
Oh,
I'm sure that they're used to having drones.
Yeah,
all
I
over
think
the
it's
place.
a very
this
popular.
is so cool, though. It really is.
Yeah.
I'll
Yep,
tell you what,
very,
like,
very cool.
I've been doing a lot of construction filming in my in Philly, and so like being able to do a construction project that's out of my state, but also that's just different. That's like a bridge is really a lot of fun.
Right. That is cool. I'll go on to one of if you want to watch the rest of that video.
It's
And
very
before
good.
I forget, if you guys are not subscribed to Billy and John, do it now. Please do it before you get off the live
Especially
stream.
Billy. Billy really needs subscribers.
But anyway, I know I got your video lined up too, John, and I thought this one was pretty cool. So hopefully you can narrate over this one and tell everybody about it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, this is the Gibson Guitar Factory in Kalamazoo, Michigan. And Gibson Guitar, they started out in Kalamazoo back in 1917. I think this
The Gibson
building.
Guitar Factory in Kalamazoo, Michigan, was
And,
listed on the National Register of
this
Historic
is-
Places in
was in operation until 1984, and they moved all of their operations to Nashville, Tennessee, I believe. But I put this video up, and it's amazing how many Gibson guitar fans are out there. I mean, I've
Yeah.
never had this many views on any of my videos. I mean, this
Really?
one has just kind of gone through the roof for me. I mean, but there's talk of the Hard Rock hotels coming in and renovating this and making a museum.
That would be so
But-
cool.
That would be cool. Unfortunately,
Yes, it would be.
the pandemic has come in and kind of slowed that down, and it's not in the best part of Kalamazoo, I guess. So, but it's on the National Historic Register or whatever. So, but I hope they can save at least the main building, and I'd love to get inside. I'm hoping somebody sees this. There's another guitar company that works in an attached building, Heritage Guitars. I'm hoping somebody will see that and let me come in and poke around and do some video inside, because I just would love to see what that looks like.
Well,
I've heard
this is cool.
It's pretty neat. Yeah.
Very, very cool, John. Very cool.
Yeah, that's
So
awesome.
if you all want to watch the rest of that video, subscribe to John's channel, or at least go watch it. Anyway, it's amazing how everybody has their own style of making videos, and I got my boring style, with the same old intro.
I got my
I
boring
gotta
style.
change it one of these days.
Hey man, if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but anyway, I'm having fun, and us saying fly for fun.
That's right. That's the main thing. I do it.
And then
I do it for the fun.
the other saying that I have, and that's let's get kids hooked on drones, not drugs.
That's right.
So,
That's right.
but anyway, and I really am excited that we have a lot of children. Don't worry, we're not going to get overwhelmed with children at the meetup, but we are going to have a few. I think more than we've
Cool.
ever had.
Well, I mean,
So,
I think from a growing standpoint, I think that the drone industry is just going to consistently grow. Because for me myself, like the reason I'm so into drones is because of video games. Like I love video games, and like that has translated into a real life video game, which is like a drone. You know what I mean? So I think it's going to really translate well for a lot of younger people too, and it's just going to continue to grow and grow and grow.
have a good night, Ron. Yeah, no. And I don't know if you guys realize it, but I am very excited about the South Florida drone meetup. You know,
Can't
I
wait.
am. You know, I've been praying for good weather, and I know a lot of other people have been praying, but we're gonna have a good time. And Billy, do you know we got people coming from Europe this
No
year?
way. Really?
Yeah. Two
That's
people
cool.
from Drone Seekers International. You know, they're coming
Yeah,
from the UK. Terry Hawes and Stephen Gardner.
that'd be awesome.
And that's thanks to Marcus. Marcus is a co-host on that show, and he
Yeah,
pushed it, and he got them to come. So,
that's gonna be great.
and not only do we have Jim Beauchart and Gary coming back from Canada, Jim's bringing his son, or maybe his son's bringing him this year. But we're gonna meet Jordan. I call him Jordy, but and then Lauren Dunhour coming from Calgary, Canada, and he's bringing his friend Lonnie Brown. So there's gonna be a lot of new people there this
Yeah.
year.
That'll be great. I'm looking forward to it. It's always fun to escape the cold of the Northeast.
And
It comes at a good time. It
I
really
was
does.
waiting to get a lull so I could announce this sponsorship. As you all know, Pilot Institute is a sponsor of the South Florida Drone Meetup. They supply our lanyards, and there's a new design to them this year, and the first 125 people are going to receive them. So get there early. But anyway, we start at 7 a.m. just to let everybody know. And Brad, of course, is making up the ID cards and everything, and he's got about 125 of them already printed with people's names on it. So I got to say thank you to Brad and Greg from Pilot Institute. But the big news is Pilot Institute even stepped up and said, Ray, we're going to give out some courses again this year,
Nice.
Nice.
free courses. So he said, you can make up the things. I don't have to give it a little plastic gift card. You just put the name and let us know who wins it, and they are going to get a free Pilot Institute course. So,
Very cool.
so I got to say thank you for that. And then I didn't want to push him too much, but we needed somebody to cover our little lunch that we have at the meetup, which is pizza, just to let everybody know.
Nothing
And
wrong with pizza.
he stepped up for that. So he's covering the lunch for us. Thank
Very
you
nice.
to Greg from Pilot
Great.
Institute.
Love it.
So anyway, the hour has went by. It goes by quick, as you guys know. So now I got to say thank you to everybody in the chat for watching. Thank you guys for being on the show tonight. You were awesome guests. And now it's time for you to say goodbye. So John, if you want to say goodbye or anything you want to promote, go ahead right now.
No, just looking forward to the meetup. Looking forward to seeing you, Captain, and Billy, and all the other folks I met last year, and some new ones as well. It should be exciting, and it's always fun to see everybody.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
great.
Well, I'm looking forward to seeing you and Colleen. John, thank you. And thank you for your sponsorship, your
Sure.
T-shirt donations, you know.
Happy
And
to
Billy,
do it.
now's the time for you to say goodnight and anything you'd like to promote.
Yeah. Well,
Like-
hey, Ray.
Promote your channel. And did you want to talk about your Tesla channel at all?
Nah,
I didn't
I'm
know
not,
if you
you know,
did.
it's not. I'm really not putting that much time into that. So
Okay.
maybe at a later time. But look, Ray, thanks for having me on. Always good catching up. It's going to be great to see you and everybody else in person here in about 2 weeks. And again, like I said, I'm looking forward to skipping on the cold, getting down and shooting some nice beaches. I know that Lon and I are actually going to be spending a little bit more time down there. We'll be down there until like Thursday. So
Yeah, I
Nice.
hear you're taking a Bright Line train ride too, maybe.
we might rent a car at this point. It might be a little more economical, but I think we're gonna play it by ear.
Right. Okay, good. I know you'll have a good time.
Yeah, it'll be fun.
And I won't tell anybody what hotel you're staying at, but I hear you're staying over on the beach.
Oh, you know what? I haven't booked the hotel yet. Maybe
Oh,
Lon
really?
has. If Lon's booked the hotel, then thank God, because I won't pay.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know, but I did hear that the Hampton Inn has sold out. I haven't called them and confirmed it, but I did hear that through the grapevine. So, but the Marriott over on Hutchinson Island is a nice hotel right on the beach. So, but thank you guys. Thank you for being on. Thank
Thanks
you
for
all
having
for
us.
watching. We'll see you
Appreciate
again
it.
in 2 weeks on my show, and then next week on the Fly for Fun show with Johnny. So just get out there and fly and have fun, and most importantly, fly safely. So good night, everybody.
See
Good
ya.
night.